So before we start looking at panelizing the surface we created, a couple of reminders. One, to save your files, especially your Rhino file currently, which has your shapes you've created, and your Grasshopper file, which is going to be the start of our panelizing next. So with that in mind, I'm going to make Grasshopper go full screen here so we can get a peek at what these paneling tools are. So there are all kinds of functionality in here. For instance, Revit has a whole host of all kinds of things that we will just touch on a few of these, like the direct shape to bring the shape back into Revit later on. But Paneling Tools, the one we're going to look for, has all of the features that we need to create a grid system and then to divide that off into a paneling system that will be used to add a unique panel element to. So in order to be able to find this, we have to go out into the internet world, and I've gone ahead and searched the term you're going to need to use. It's called Food for Rhino, and it'll take you to Food for Rhino. Funny name. So if we click on that, it'll open up all of the things that apps that you would want to use with Rhino and Grasshopper. And mostly, a lot of times we're looking just for Grasshopper, but we can add functionality directly into Rhino. Just like with Revit, you can do all kinds of, complex things inside of Revit without having to use Dynamo. It's the same thing with Rhino. We could do the panelizing actually right inside of Revit. But there's a lot more flexibility when we go outside and use the Grasshopper tools. So anyway, once we're there, we can look for paneling tools. I'm going to say paneling tools for Grasshopper. I've already typed that in. And we'll come up with actually one solution, paneling tools for Rhino and Grasshopper. And I think this will actually insert it in both Rhino and Grasshopper. And once you're there, you'll have a key to download it. And it's probably going to require you to log in order to get to the paneling tools. And in this case, we're just going to use the paneling tools at the top. So if you were to click download, let's just step through this and see what will happen. I'm having so I have my login come up. So I go ahead and log in. And once I've logged in, I'm available to do that download. And so that'll happen pretty quickly. I don't need to do that download because I already have. You could go down here and actually click this install button. Actually, let me click on it and see what happens here. And it's going to open Rhino 7. And I'm going to cancel out of this because I don't want to step through all of this again. I already have Rhino open. And then it'll go through all the processes of installing it. So once you've done that, we'll pick up in the next clip about what we're going to use our paneling tool to help us, how we're going to use our paneling tool to help us define panels on our project.